Good afternoon, everyone. Today is Thursday, April 2nd. We're here with another edition of the Poem of the Day. I picked a poem today. Last night I picked a poem that I thought I was going to read today by Rita Dove. And yesterday we were getting, some snow flurries and things like that. And so I thought, no, I think there's a different poem that I'd like to read, and maybe I can catch lightning in a bottle. Speaking of weather metaphors and things like that, and I decided to read this other poem today, and so I ended up, I've been in an attempt to practice reciting it to limit my complete and utter embarrassment. I've been writing, transcribing each poem so that I can get a sense of it and feel it and hear it inside my head and things like that before I read it. So, in an attempt to try to limit my my takes in terms of how long it takes me to, create these very high production value YouTube videos. So what I'm trying to say is I wrote the poem down and I decided I was going to take one of the older cars that we have to make sure that it's still running, because we're not really going out right now. We're not going out right now. I'm going to drive it over to the ocean side of Cape Cod, and it'll fit in with the theme of the poem, which is called "Snow on the Ocean" by Bruce Smith. I got there, I had a makeshift tripod using like the beach fence and secured it just so with the car key, and then leaned my water bottle, and I was like, this is great. And I had made a bunch of hilarious jokes that were actually like probably some of the best jokes I've ever told, and I got all the way through the poem and I got to the last line of the poem and the phone blew over, the water bottle fell down, my key fell behind the fence. I started swearing really loudly. And it, the anger of the sea during this nor'easter, it shared itself with me. But, I resolved I could just do this. I can just do this again later on. And so when I got back and jumped in the car, it didn't start. So that was cool. Unfortunately, my sister-in-law is in our self-isolation with us, so she was able to come pick me up, and we jump-started the car, which was fun, and the howling wind and spitting rain and things like that, and the car got all the way back to the driveway and then decided, that's it. So I think it's just a battery issue. I hope it's just a battery issue. I'm not a mechanic. This is exactly what I was like making fun of myself for the other day when talking about like the things that I learned from my dad. I kept driving the car home. Some people might have stopped. We got the car back to the driveway, so we're in good shape. In any event, I've got the poem here. I'm gonna scooch everything over just a little bit. There we go. Now it's uneven. Okay, that's fine. So I've got the poem here, and I'm going to read it to you in a much less ominous setting with this, sea foam, aquamarine paint and things like that. But I think it's still a great poem, obviously. I love what he does with like the little tiny details and the big picture details at the same time. So without further ado, this is my second attempt at Bruce Smith's Snow on the Ocean. You can prepare for the fall, its lack of innocence, its bright load, as if in the scheme of things you've been given something. these accomplishments of air before the cold paradise of winter, where no fruit falls. You can prepare all summer for this, and the extravagant chemical changes, the maple flaming scarlet to rust, to what? It's beneath you to see its apostasy, its folding. You can prepare for this hanging and appling, but not for this. Snow on the ocean, water in all three forms, ghost, glass, and what slips between our fingers, what dissolves and hugs our forms. Just this much, a splash in a shot glass, an inch in a bath. The human lull and relish of it can leave us beautifully used, almost shoreless, as we pass through the gills of this planet with the wrong name, this earth whose one season is the improvident presence of water. It sounded way cooler in front of, the roaring ocean. But in spite of me doing my best Jim Cantori, dancing around because of the thunder snow from the Weather Channel, I still love this poem. And as I look out the window at the dreary weather, I still think about how cool this particular poem is. And, maybe weather be darned, I'll read the poem I originally had planned on reading tomorrow. One way or another, I think I'm going to read a Dove tomorrow. So thank you again for joining, and thank you for all your contributions. Take care of yourselves. Make sure that you're doing everything you can to stay safe and stay healthy. And we will see you again for a Friday edition to continue National Poetry Month of the Poem of the Day. Take care, and we'll see you later.